Are you thinking about becoming a tech sales rep? I'm Trey, and I was able to get the skills and a job as a tech sales rep in 36 days. Today, we're talking about something a bit different. 5 reasons why you might not want to become a tech sales rep. Now, tech sales can be exciting and you can get to the bag, but it's not for everybody. If you are considering a career in tech sales, you're gonna wanna watch this video to understand some of the challenges and see if this is a right fit for you. Now, before we get to it though, remember, every career does have its pros and cons. So what might be a deal breaker for one person could be an exciting challenge for somebody else. All right, so to pop it off, tech sales is a high pressure environment. All right, you got meeting sales quotas, you got deadlines, and constantly striving to close deals. It can be pretty stressful, but if you thrive under pressure and you enjoy that fast-paced working environment, this might actually be good for you. So the high pressure environments, they can lead to burnout for some people if you don't know how to pace yourself. But for others, that adrenaline rush of closing that deal and making all that money and getting praise from everybody in the office, that can be extremely motivating as well, right? So it's really like being an athlete in a sport. Like I used to play baseball and, I was the captain of the team, played shortstop, all that kind of stuff. That was pressure and pressure to be good at all times when I had to. But I actually like that, right? I enjoyed being that guy in the moment. Now, the pressure is high, but when you're in a competitive sport as an athlete, the thrill of winning makes all that pressure worth it. Same here. And by the way, if you are still liking the idea of getting into tech sales, even though they have pressure, right, and you're going to have to learn a new skill, Course Careers does offer a free introductory course, and it can help you get started quickly and efficiently. That's exactly what I did, and that's how I was able to get in the industry in 36 days, right? It's just a streamlined way for you to be able to get the skills you need, and the introductory course, they do offer that for you to be able to see if this is what you want to do. And I'll leave that in the description for you to check that out. Next, you're going to face a lot of rejection and competition. Rejection and competition, right? I had to repeat it for everybody in the back, okay? Like always hearing the word no, it can be terrible for you. It can be demoralizing. And the competition for top sales roles, it is extreme in some cases. But if you have that resilient mindset and you can see rejection differently, right, as a learning opportunity, I always say no is not a no, it's just not right now when we're talking about sales. Maybe you didn't explain it the right way. Maybe it's not the right time, and maybe you didn't ask the right questions. But the good thing is when you expect that in this business and you know that there are going to be some no's coming, it's just going to be about getting through those no's to get to the yes. And if you can reframe your mind that way, it's going to make it a whole lot easier knowing that not everyone's going to say yes. So if you have a resilient mindset and you can see rejection as that learning opportunity, you can actually turn that into a positive experience. All right. So rejection definitely can be tough on self-esteem at times, but it can also build resilience and improve that sales technique over time. Right? Because if I hear enough no's about a specific thing, well, now I can get those objections out of the way early in the call before we even get to that, right? So now the only thing that's left at the end after I ask all my questions is for them to say yes. All right. And these are all things that you can learn with your company when you get with them, right? It's like playing a video game. You have to fail, and you're probably gonna fail several times, right? But every time you fail, it's teaching you a new strategy to win the game, a different way to go at it. Number 3, it's an always changing industry. Now, the tech industry is always changing. It's always evolving. So it means you're going to have to keep up with new products and trends. Now, this is more specifically in the space that you're in, right? I'm not saying you need to keep up with everything that goes on in tech across all the spaces. I'm talking about whatever space that you land in, right? You're going to want to know everything that's going on in that industry, right? How did it affect your company? How does it affect your competitors? What are some advantages that you can say on the phone that is going to help you get that sale across for your company instead of them going to your competitors. So you are going to want to make sure you keep up with that. Now, depending on what space you're in tech, that can be a little overwhelming, especially if you prefer a stable work environment. Like if you want to come in, every day is the same, it looks the same, it feels the same, you make the same amount of calls, make the same email, right? Copy paste. It might not be like that. Okay. Now, for those who love learning and being able to adapt to new challenges every day or every week, that changing environment, like that can be incredibly stimulating for people who like that kind of stuff. So keeping up with industry changes is going to be exhausting sometimes, but it is going to make sure that your work is never boring and that you're always evolving, right? And also, there are other ways to keep up with that. Like nowadays with AI, it's so much easier to set up a Google alert for your industry or for your competitors, right? You can get emailed summaries of everything that's went on in your space. And every morning you can come into the office, or if you're working at home, you can open up to an email that showed you everything that happened while you were away. And now you have a summarized list of everything that's happened that you can use for that day, right? When you're building rapport or asking questions. So really, this is like surfing. The waves they're always changing, and you have to adapt to be able to ride them successfully. Number 4, long hours and unpredictable schedules. Now, tech sales, it does sometimes require long hours and unpredictable schedules. Now, this can be a challenge if you value a strict work-life balance, all right? Now, the thing is, if you enjoy flexible work environments, the potential for higher earnings and higher money for those long hours could be worth it. Now, long hours, they can lead to a work-life imbalance if you're not careful about setting up those perimeters, but that flexibility that you do get in tech sales that come with that, it can make it a good fit for those self-motivated individuals. And to be real, like when you're young or you're in an entry-level role, you don't really have to put in a boatload of extra hours, right? This is more so on the account executive side, right? So as a newer tech sales rep, a sales development rep or business development rep, it's more or less like working during the business hours and then going home. Now, maybe if you're great at what you do, or you're looking to get ahead or looking to have more time during the work week, then maybe on a Sunday evening, you'll take those few hours and map out the people that you're going to call and your angle for the next day or that next morning. And that can really help you a great deal on that Monday morning. But this one is more or less for account executives and people who are higher up in the sales department. And to be honest, as you grow, you'll get better at doing that. And to make it make sense, this is really like being a freelance artist. Like you might work late nights, you might work early, but the freedom that you get and the rewards that you get when it's done and you do get that sale, it's going to make it worth it. Number 5, high performance expectations. All right. So there are very high performance expectations in tech sales. You're constantly expected to meet or exceed your sales goals, which can be stressful at times. And for those who aren't really driven by goals, and for those who are driven by goals, or you enjoy pushing yourself to those limits that you have and the things that you maybe didn't think you could reach, this environment can be incredibly rewarding for you. All right. That pressure to perform, it can be intense. But when you do hit those targets, it can bring a sense of accomplishment, and it do come with that money on, okay? And the thing is, it's not going to be forever. Again, this one is more so for the account executives, right? As a new or entry-level role, you're building up that tolerance, and you're building up to the level that you're going to be as an account executive. And by the time you get there, it will be stressful, but it's going to be a better stress, right? It'll be you working towards something that you know you can get to because of the skills that you've built over the time when you were in that entry-level role and going through those phases. So real high performance expectations are like being a chef at one of those high-end, like 5-star, Michelin star restaurants. Like those standards are extremely high. but the satisfaction of creating that perfect dish, it can't be beat, right? When they tell you to come out there as the chef and they're like, man, you really killed this, or you did a great job on this, it's more like, I know. And that's because of all the work that you put in to get to that level. And it's just showing itself on the outside. It's being unveiled, right? The work that Michael Jordan, the work that Kobe Bryant, the work that LeBron James put in when nobody was watching. And in the practice gym, the reason it shows so easy and well in those high pressure situations in the real game is because of all the work they put in when nobody could see them. And it's the same thing here. When you put in the work, it will be high expectations. There will be some intense moments, but you're built for that by that time, right? Because of the work that you put in when nobody could see you, before you were in the office, before you got the job, before you were in the office, before you got on the phone, it will all be worth it in the end. So there you have it, y'all. Those are 5 reasons why you might not want to become a tech sales rep. But remember, what might be a downside for some could be a benefit for others. So if you thrive under pressure, if you can handle rejection, if you enjoy a dynamic or a changing industry, you don't mind sometimes doing some long hours if it's going to pay off, and you're driven by high expectations, tech sales could be perfect for you. And don't forget, check out Course Careers' free introductory course if you're still interested in looking into tech sales. That link is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you to make this decision. It's going to be worth it. You're going to become a new and better you. I promise you that. And if you found this video useful, go ahead and like, comment, and share. Go ahead and subscribe for more tips and strategies. I'll see you in the next one.